Have you ever watched someone lose a genuinely good partner and somehow still act surprised when they left? Have you ever watched someone lose a genuinely good partner and somehow still act surprised when they left? Here's the strange part. It's rarely because of one big betrayal. Most of the time, it's something much quieter, and once you understand it, you'll start recognizing it everywhere. Let's start with what a good one actually does in a relationship. They show up, they communicate, they give reassurance without being asked twice. They make things feel easy, and that's exactly the problem. When something feels easy, the brain quietly downgrades how much attention it needs. Psychologists call this habituation. You stop noticing what's working because nothing is forcing you to notice it. So the texts get shorter, the check-ins get skipped. The little "I was thinking about you" messages fade out, not because the feelings disappeared, but because nothing was demanding they show up. Here's what most people miss. A good partner doesn't usually leave over anger. They leave over exhaustion. The exhaustion of being the only one keeping the emotional connection alive. At first, they'll bring it up gently. "I feel like we don't talk as much." That's not a complaint. That's a warning shot. Most people hear it and think, "We're fine," and go right back to autopilot. This is where things get interesting. The withdrawal that follows isn't dramatic. It's subtle. They stop initiating plans. They stop sharing their day in detail. They start processing things alone instead of out loud with you. And here's the mistake almost everyone makes. They interpret that quiet as stability. They're not complaining anymore, so things must be okay. In reality, silence is often the last stage before someone has already started emotionally preparing to leave. The surprising part is, by the time most people notice something is wrong, the other person isn't confused anymore. They've already had the conversation with themselves, multiple times. What looks sudden from the outside was actually months in the making. So what actually keeps a good one? Not grand gestures, consistency. Noticing them on the ordinary days, not just the anniversaries. Treating attention as something you maintain, not something you assume will always be there, because the people who lose a good one rarely lose them in an argument. They lose them in the space between texts that got shorter, and a goodbye that felt sudden, but never really was.